Hello, and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good old people of the tube. I hope you're feeling grand and all is well in your world. Today's vid, everybody, I'm gonna get to show you this beautiful, beautiful guitar. This is a Hondo II Les Paul copy. I believe this one's from the 80s. I did think initially it was maybe 70s, but I'm not 100% sure now, as records are a bit vague on these guitars of when they are, and because they don't really, well, they don't have a serial number, so you can't really date them. But I think this is an early 80s model. I could be wrong. If not, it's going to be definitely late 70s, but I have no idea. People of the tube, if you know anything about these Hondo II Les Pauls, and you know the date of what this might be, if this is 70s or 80s, let me know in the comment section below, because I'm not 100% sure myself at this point in time. Anyway, let's get to the guitar itself. I am gone again. I did the playing before I did the talking, so I'm always very clever about that. But in all fairness, today I needed to get the playing out more quicker than I did the talking, which is kind of usual, really. But it's been a very, very rubbish time, people of the tube, and this thing wanted to help me, and it did. So anyway, so some people might recognise this guitar. It's got a very distinctive look about it due to these inlays here, and also the dual cream humbuckers. It looks amazing. The burst on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. The top carve, you can see if I get it in the light, the top carve is gorgeous as well. So some people might know this guitar from a friend of mine's channel called Dr. Nerd, and this was his, and I did a trade for this because as soon, well, let me tell you the story. So actually, one sec. Okay, so I had to do a one sec because I have to bring this guitar into the story of this Hondo II. So if you've been around the channel for long enough, you'd have seen this guitar. This is my Zenta Teisco Strat thing, gorgeous. I love it to bits, and it'll never leave me guitar. It's just amazing. I think this is I believe this is a 70s guitar, definitely. I don't think it's 60s, or it's got 60s parts, but I think it's an early 70s guitar, this one. Anyway, when I went to buy this guitar from the person who was selling it, I noticed on the table where this was laid, there was an Encore Strat copy, and there was a K that I really wanted as well. This black K, but unfortunately I had sold. And there was this. But this was in pieces. All I could see of this was a bag of bits and pieces. The neck and the body were not together. And I saw it on the table and I thought, that's amazing. I love the burst and I love the inlays. It's just gorgeous. So I asked the woman who I bought it from, I said, oh, is that for sale as well? I said, if it is, how much do you want for that? And she goes, I'm sorry, it's sold. So I was gutted because I was like, I wanted both. I wanted this one, I wanted this one. And like I said, this one wasn't together, but I wanted it as a project to do it up. So anyway, kind of left there with this one. Not a big loss at all, really, if you believe, because this guitar is amazing. But I was upset that I couldn't walk away with this one. And I was really upset I couldn't walk away with the black K as well, because it looked really cool. But, I had this one. This is the one I was going to get in the first place, so I was happy. Anyway, and I just tried to put this one out of my mind because I was like, that's gorgeous, but, is what it is. Anyway, Dr. Nerd comes into the picture here, and he was the one who bought it. He must have literally got to this literally a couple of minutes maybe before I asked the woman who was selling both of these if it was available. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words, people, because the playing's just taken out of me. But if it was available, so he beat me to it. So I was like, no, because I saw it on his channel. Like I can't remember when, but I saw it on his when he released a video on this in bits and pieces. I was like, he beat me to it. I wanted that one as well. Anyway, and what I will do, I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, so I missed out. I had this one, and I love this guitar, but I wanted both because I'm greedy. Anyway, I started just I started watching Dr. Nerd's channel and watched him do this guitar up. So he put it back together, he fixed it up, He refretted it. He basically rewired it to how you see it now, you know, in its playable form, and it plays so well. This guitar is absolutely. Not only does it look gorgeous, it's absolutely a stunning sounding and playing guitar as well. It feels amazing. Nothing on this guitar is straight, though. I'll get to that in a second. I'll come back to that. But anyway, we talk quite often. Me and Dr. Nerd do, and he just mentioned, would I be interested in trading my Harley Benton CST24 for some other guitars? And I was like, yeah, of course. I said, and I noticed in his video he said he'd never really want to get rid of this one. So I was like, I'm gonna have to ask, because if you don't ask, you never know. And I said, would you trade it for this? And he said yes. So I was like, finally got it. Anyway, so we did a very interesting Tesco car park trade. It looked like some kind of like really rubbish drug deal, and I walked away with this guitar, and he walked away with my CST 24, which if you go to his channel, there's a link in the description box to his channel. You'll see that guitar, I'm sure, on there. Anyway, I came home and I just fell in love with this guitar. Just absolutely fell in love with the way it looks. It's just amazing. So anyway, let me just get the sad part out of the way, because I wanted to, and then we'll talk about the guitar itself and what do those inlays do, and just some of the specs on the guitar. So these two guitars belong to the same guy, and the woman who was selling them was selling them on behalf of, unfortunately, he had passed away and he had left us. So, you know, it's very bittersweet when you're buying a guitar from that kind of situation, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, it's lovely to buy these things, but it's sad that the fact of, you know, that guy can't anymore. And he bought these things to do them up. He loved doing them up by the looks of it. He had so many of them, and he was doing these things up, and he never quite got round to this. And as I say, Dr. Nerd finished it perfectly. I'm sure the guy would be extremely proud to see this guitar now. And yeah, I would highly doubt, like, you know, he would be annoyed by this. It's just amazing. And he did this guitar up, and this guitar is amazing as well. If you've seen it in videos, I love this thing to bits. And it's just sad, and it makes me value these guitars even more, and it makes me go, these guitars need to be together. You know what I mean? These guitars don't really want to be apart from each other, and they feel that way as well. They feel very happy. They sit next to each other on my wall downstairs, and when they're together, it's a very, very nice atmosphere with them. They've got a very nice energy, positive energy about them when they're together, these two guitars, which is why I had to go and get this one, because I forgot to bring it up. But they do feel great together. So yeah, so I'm very happy to own both. I'm very, very honoured to own both. And like I say, I just, because of a situation in which these were sold, it makes me very, very honoured to be, like, you know, the custodian of them, if you will, until I can't be anymore. But again, these guitars I just hope I'm going to have for a long time. I don't really want to get rid of either of these. I really don't, because I love them. I really do, and I love this guitar. It's so amazing. So anyway, let's talk specs of what we got on the guitar. Okay, so when this guitar came, well, I'll tell you what. In the description box below, there'll be a link to the videos of Dr. Nerd fixing this guitar up from where it was originally to where it is now. So in the description box below, there's videos detailing what he did to it and how he did it. So if you go down there in the description box below, you'll see the links. And go to them and watch the videos. It's definitely worth watching. Really, really cool. It's great to see this guitar come back to life and to where it is now. So let's talk specs. So as I believe it, it's quite, you know, it's very kind of like, you know, it's all sorts of different bits and pieces. It has been refretted. The machine heads are kind of an eBay thing. They're not kind of, they're just kind of Cluson style machine heads. The neck, the body is all original. The electrics aren't original. The switch isn't original. I think the neck and the body are the only bit that are original to this Hondo II. The electrics are all new. The speed dials are all new. The stop tail, the pickups. The pickups aren't the original pickups either. This would have originally had DiMarzio pickups, and these are not DiMarzio. I don't know what these are, but they sound immense. These are some of the nicest humbuckers I've ever heard. And the fact they're double white looks really cool. So yeah, so Dr. Nerd did an immense job on this thing, restoring it, because it would. In all fairness, I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it at the time I did, because I would not have been able to get it this good. I would have not been able to get it this restored. It wouldn't have happened. In all fairness, I'd have probably ended up kind of like giving up and maybe selling it on, because there was a lot of work, and there was some work that was beyond my skill set. But luckily, it wasn't beyond his, and he did a great job with this. Unfortunately, at some point, somebody stripped the burst off the back, so it's just a natural back, which is a bit annoying, really, because considering the gorgeousness of the burst itself, and you get it on the sides as well. It's just an amazing looking guitar, and I say it's just unfortunate that the back is bare. But this guitar is amazing. I don't know what these humbuckers are. They sound amazing, though. The guitar feels amazing. Like I say, nothing's straight on this guitar. Nothing is straight. The neck overlaps the neck pocket, as you can see, which makes me question, does this neck go to this body? The dots on the 12th fret are wonky. They're not straight. The inlays are not straight on the neck. The jack socket's really low down. The holes where the controls are all wonky. They're not in the right place. You know, nothing's straight. Nothing is straight about this guitar. And that makes it gorgeous. It makes it special. And I love it for its quirks and its uniqueness. You know, I've played a lot of Les Pauls, and I've played a lot of these kind of Les Pauls. But this one's really, really special, and it's really unique. And there's nothing... Technically, it shouldn't work. Technically, it should be a dog. And it just isn't. It's gorgeous, and I love it. I really do love this guitar. And like I say, this is one of those guitars that, like, I don't really ever want to have to get rid of. You know, I mean, I don't play it a great deal, but I do love it. You know, it's one of those. It's definitely a keeper. It really is. And say it's a bolt-on neck, but I don't really care about that. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't buy it because it's a bolt-on, but it doesn't really bother me. But it's amazing. The neck feels great. The refret is really, really good. We do have a bit of an issue here. Third fret rattles a bit. I don't care about that. It's just a beautiful fault in the guitar that you can get around. And I like it. I like that. You know what I mean? I like it when it does those kind of things, because it is imperfect. And I love that. I love its imperfections. So another thing to talk about is these inlays, people with the tube. These mother of pearl inlays. There and there. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, because Dr. Nerd talks about it in his videos, and I say they're definitely worth going to watch. But what these are basically inlaid to hide damage to the body. There was holes in the guitar there, and they're there to hide them. And Dr. Nerd, you can see on these videos, he shows you inside, and you can see all that how it looks on the inside. It's a bit of a mess, because the whole thing's hollow. You know, well, it's pretty much hollow. There's kind of a center block to about here, and then it's mainly hollow. The top carve doesn't really kind of go onto anything. It is mahogany, though. The body is mahogany. There is one bit of plywood under the stop tailpiece. Other than that, the whole guitar is mahogany, and it's heavy. We've got a mahogany neck, looks like a rosewood board, and we have a mahogany body as well. It's not plywood. There is one bit of plywood under the brick, like I say, under the stop tail. Other than that, it's all proper. Anyway, I've talked far too much. I want to let you hear this thing. Like I say, it is a shame that the back's been stripped off at some point. I'm just glad they never made it to the front. It has no scratch plate as well, which again I think makes it look even more gorgeous, because you can see the gorgeous burst. It reminds me of Paul Kossoff. This guitar really it stinks Paul Kossoff, and it stinks 70s as well. I'm pretty sure it's the 80s, but I don't know. But yeah, there's the logo. If people of the tube can help me there, Hondo II. It's got that kind of like rip off of the thingy. Oh, that's another inlay as well. That shouldn't be there, but that's another bit of mother of pearl inlay like on the body here. Anyway, this guitar is amazing. I hope you're going to enjoy the noises this thing makes. I really enjoyed playing it today. I really needed to play what I was playing today. I got lost, which is always good. And this guitar is absolutely, it's beaten to hell as well. All the dints and dents, none of that's all there to be right. Oh, another thing to mention before there is one difference that I have done to this guitar when you see Dr. Nerd's videos, is when Dr. Nerd got this guitar, on the front of this was like a varnish or something like that. It was like a lacquer. Anyway, it had gone weird and it had gone like frosty. So it was kind of like had this kind of like glaze of white over it. You'll see it in these videos, and it was just dead flaky. Anyway, I didn't like it. I thought it was detracting from the gorgeousness of the burst of the guitar, and I think it just made the guitar just look a bit. It looked dusty all the time, like heavily dusty, and I didn't like it. So patience, 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 and patience. I managed to remove all the varnish. It was all checked, but it wasn't checked in a particularly pretty way, I don't think. It wasn't checked like an old guitar. And I was able to remove it all. And once I removed it all, sanded the top, and then buffed it back up, this burst came to life. And it is literally one of the most gorgeous... I'm having trouble because of the window. There we go. It is just one of the most gorgeous tobacco bursts I think I've ever seen. It's just so... With the double white humbuckers as well... It's just, again, another reason why I just don't want to put a scratch plate on this thing. I can't play it as well because it don't have a scratch plate, but it's worth it because, you know, look at it. Absolutely beautiful guitar. Anyway, I've talked far too long. Hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. Hondo II by... I can't remember who made Hondos. I forget. But anyway, great guitar. Love it to bits. Sounds, plays amazing. Feels amazing. Sound, it just is amazing. And again, it's nice to have this and this guitar together. It's really nice to have them together. It's very, very cool. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, everybody, and I will see you again for another one. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. I do apologise about the waffle. I'm not here to talk coherently, so I do apologise. Anyway, I'll see you again. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. Just another look at that burst. Look, just heavy as hell this guitar is there, because I'm holding it up with one arm. Hurts. Right, goodbye now. Thank you much indeed for watching.